African Union Communications Early Warning and Intelligence, commonly known as AUC3I, is an intelligence and security organization responsible for providing signals intelligence and information assurance to AU citizens, AU leadership, and AU armed forces. I'm Colonel A.C. Oguntoye, an infantry officer. I am responsible for leading infantry soldiers at all levels of command and combined armed forces during missions on the ground. This is today's briefing. On the progress of the special military operation on the 6th of July, 2024. The armed forces of the Russian Federation continue to conduct a special military operation. Units of the North Group of troops hit the manpower and equipment of the 31st Mechanized, 71st Motorized Infantry Brigade of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, the 36th Marine Brigade and the 13th Brigade of the National Guard in the areas of the settlements of Volchansk, Staritsa, and Lipsy in the Kharkov region. During the day, 5 attacks by formations of the 92nd Assault Brigade of the Ukrainian Armed Forces and the Vostok Special Operations Forces Detachment were repelled. Enemy losses amounted to up to 210 military personnel, a tank, a pickup truck, a combat vehicle of the Grad multiple launch rocket system, 155mm Polish-made Crab and French-made Caesar self-propelled artillery mounts, two 155mm M777 howitzers made in the USA, two 152mm D20 guns, 152mm MSTB howitzer, two 122mm Gvozdika self-propelled artillery mounts, and a 122mm D30 howitzer. Units of the West Group of troops occupied more advantageous positions and also defeated the formations of the 30th, 43rd, 166th Mechanized, 4th Tank Brigades of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, 110th, 117th Military Defense Brigades, 12th Special Forces Brigade and the 1st Operational Brigade of the National Guard in the areas of the settlements of Sinkovka, Stepove and Novosolovka of the Kharkov region, Serebryanka, Grigorovka, Torskoy, and Kirovsk of the Donetsk People's Republic. We repelled 2 counterattacks by units of the 3rd Assault Brigade of the Ukrainian Armed Forces and the 4th Brigade of the National Guard. The enemy lost up to 540 troops, an armored personnel carrier, 4 vehicles, a 122mm D30 howitzer, 105mm M119 guns made in the USA and L119 guns made in Great Britain, 3 enclave electronic warfare stations, and 3 field ammunition depots. Units of the Southern Group of Forces improved the situation along the front line, defeated manpower and equipment of the 28th, 54th, 93rd Mechanized, 56th Motorized Infantry, 79th Airborne Assault, 5th Assault Brigades of the Ukrainian Armed Forces in the areas of the settlements Krasnoy, Kurdiamovka, Katarinovka, Seversk, Elizavetovka, and Chesavyar of the Donetsk People's Republic. The Ukrainian Armed Forces lost up to 650 troops and 12 vehicles. During the counter-battery fight, the following were hit: 155mm howitzers M777, M198 made in the USA and FH-70 made in Great Britain, a 152mm self-propelled artillery mount Acacia, a 152mm D20 gun, 2 122mm D30 howitzers, 2 105mm L119 guns made in Great Britain, a US-made and /TPQ-50 counter-battery station, as well as 7 field ammunition depots of the Armed Forces of Ukraine. Units of the Center Group of troops, as a result of active actions, liberated the village of Sokol in the Donetsk People's Republic and improved the tactical situation. They defeated the formations of the 24th Mechanized, 59th Motorized Infantry, 46th Airmobile Brigades of the Ukrainian Armed Forces in the areas of the settlements of Volchy, Ostroy, Seladovo, Voskhod, and Toretsk of the Donetsk People's Republic. 5 counterattacks by assault groups of the 31st, 41st, 47th Mechanized, and 95th Air Assault Brigades of the Ukrainian Armed Forces were repelled. Enemy losses amounted to up to 415 military personnel, 3 armored combat vehicles, including a US-made Bradley infantry fighting vehicle, 2 pickup trucks, a US-made 155mm Paladin self-propelled artillery mount, a 122mm D30 howitzer, a 105mm M119 gun made in the USA, and a 100mm Rapier anti-tank gun. Units of the Vostok group of troops occupied more advantageous positions and also defeated the manpower and equipment of the 72nd Motorized Infantry Brigade of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, the 120th and 128th Terrestrial Defense Brigades in the areas of the settlements of Velikaya Novoselka, Makarovka, Vodyanoye and Urozhanoye of the Donetsk People's Republic. In addition, they repelled the attack of the enemy's 58th Motorized Infantry Brigade. The Ukrainian armed forces lost up to 115 military personnel, 2 armored combat vehicles, 6 vehicles, a 152mm D-20 gun and a 105mm M119 gun made in the United States. Operational tactical aviation, unmanned aerial vehicles, missile forces, and artillery of groupings of troops of the armed forces of the Russian Federation destroyed an illumination and guidance radar, a low-altitude detector, and 2 launchers of the S-300 anti-aircraft missile system, and also hit an oil refinery and fuel storage facility from which the supplying military units of the armed forces of Ukraine, a warehouse of aviation weapons, and parking of the Bayraktar UAV at 2 military airfields, as well as accumulations of enemy manpower and equipment in 127 areas. Air defense systems shot down 3 UK-made Storm Shadow air-launched cruise missiles, a US-made HARM anti-radar missile, a French-made Hammer guided bomb, 3 US-made HIMARS missiles, and 55 unmanned aerial vehicles. In total, since the beginning of the special military operation, the following have been destroyed: 626 aircraft, 277 helicopters, 27,283 unmanned aerial vehicles, 539 anti-aircraft missile systems, 16,513 tanks and other armored combat vehicles, 1,365 combat vehicles of multiple launch rocket systems, 11,456 field artillery guns and mortars, 23,378 units of special military vehicles. Thank you so much for watching this video. We hope you found it useful and informative. If you have any questions, please leave them below and we'll get back to you as soon as possible.